Hey everyone, welcome to our UNAA area qualifier at the Burnsville Concord Gym. This course here will have 10 obstacles in it with a total of 15 points and a time limit of 5 minutes. Our first obstacle here is the question mark. You're going to be going through the sonic curve, angled steps, all the way to the blue platform over there. You can use hands and feet on this as much as you want. No touching of the Velcro on the bottom, just staying up on the actual step portions. So grabbing any of these, standing any of these is fine. Make your way all the way through. And then ends here. You also have this one wobble step that you can use as much as you want. Landing onto this blue pad here. Breaking the plane right here will clear the obstacle. And this is the start pad of your second obstacle here. So don't be coming off of it, as once you land on it, you are starting your second obstacle. Second obstacle is our raised balance pipes here. You're going to be going across the raised balance pipes down all the way to the blue pad over there. Depending on your age group, there may be fewer or more of the raised pads around. And the pads in between, for some of the young groups, will allow them to stand on them. Some of the older groups will only be able to stand on the actual pipes. And we'll explain that today for your age group. This whole obstacle here is lower body only. Going up, on, down, and then breaking the plane here to clear this first obstacle. Our third obstacle here is our first 2-point obstacle. Competitors will be coming up to this trampoline and jumping up to the rope to go up and over our angled wall here. Depending on your age group too, that rope might be a little bit shorter or might be removed completely, and you'll be grabbing the edges to get up and over the angled wall there. Once you get up and over it, that is your first point, and you're coming over to the red platform here and then swinging across to our next platform to get your second point. Climbing up and over. Once you fully cross over this plane here, that is your first point. Then you're able to climb down here to grab the rope. This one here, you're able to go kind of over the mats there and just onto the pad. And once you have completely gotten there and disengaged the rope, you have gotten your second point. There and clear. Our fourth obstacle is the toboggan slide here. We're going to be coming up onto this slider bar here and sliding your way all the way down so you can dismount onto the pad there. Depending on your age group as well, you might have some obstacles that you have to reach up to then swing through and get to the dismount pad, and those will be described the day of for your age bracket. There and clear. On to our next obstacle here. This is another 2-point obstacle. Competitors will be climbing up onto the raised pads here to get onto our LACHES bars. Some of the groups will be starting on the salmon ladder here, possibly as well too. And we have our swinging tilt holds here. Some of those will have trapezes on them. Other ones, the competitors will be using those and then thrusting them up and over to get farther in there. And then LACHES to the next ones. The ones at the end there are held up by magnets, so once you grab onto them, they will release and swing you forward, and then you'll have to dismount onto the ending platform. Depending on where that is, will depend on your age group. Your first point will be getting to either the stationary blue bar there, or if it's some of the older groups, we'll be getting onto these bars here, depending on your configuration for your age group, which we'll describe the day of. Swing through. 1 point on it there. These trapezes as well, they can kind of move a little bit. Then you're building up a bit of swing. Get onto, and then dismounting either past the pad here, or this will be kind of moved further depending on your age group as well. From there, competitors will be coming up to our rope swing balance. This rope will be attached up here that you'll kind of pull out of the hold, and you'll be swinging over onto our balance beam or slack line, depending on your age group. This is also a 2-point obstacle, so swinging over and getting onto it is the first point, then making it all the way through is the second point. Whoa. There we go. 1 point there. So once you're on it, disengage the rope. That is your first point. Younger groups, we're using the beam down here, tilting it all the way through. And then once they get to the end platform here is their second point. Older groups will be using the slack line on here. Our next obstacle here is hopscotch. Competitors will be coming up onto our hopscotch hanging holds here. Depending on your age group as well, there might be a pad here to help get up to it. There might be a trampoline, or you might be going right from the slack line. And then these will be raised up to different heights, again, depending on your age group, and then distances as well will vary depending on the group. Competitors will be swinging through the hopscotch here, going from 1 hold to 2 holds to 1 hold, and then either off or potentially to another hold for the older groups, and then dismounting at the end. This obstacle here is hands only, and hands only on the actual rock holds. No grabbing up top of the holds here. If you kind of grab on and you're like a little bit around the side, as long as you're like partly on the rock hold, I will allow it. But again, mainly no grabbing with the straps, and no grabbing up top of these holds. Dismounting off, depending on your age group, your landing mat will be kind of moved. Then they'll also be clearly marked with different green tape and smiley faces on them. From there, you're going to move on to our next balance obstacle. This one here, you're going to be using the rolling log here and pushing this block as well. So you can have your hands onto this block here and your feet onto the rolling log. And you'll be just pushing this through as you walk it forward. No coming off and touching the carpet. That would be a DQ, or if your hands touch it all there. You're going all the way over this vault pad here. So once you kind of get close enough, you're able to then get onto this wobble step there and go up and over. And clearing over the plane will clear that balance obstacle for you. Into our last 2 obstacles here. This one here is a 2-point obstacle. Competitors will be going through the tilt ladder here to get onto our doors there. And then once they get onto, or at least touch that rope, or depending on the age group, it might be touching the second door, will be the first point, and then dismounting will be the second point. This one's hands and feet all the way through. So coming up onto the doors here, you can grab any part of the sides here. Just don't be grabbing up top to the blue part, only holding on to the red or the ledges here, and no grabbing up to any of the bars up here as well. Going through, some groups may have either a rope or ring or something hanging from here to help them get across. Swinging over, pulling themselves in. And then building up enough of a swing to get on or past the ending platform. And depending on your group, that platform will be moved. And then ending our last obstacle here, we will have the zip line up here, held by magnet. Depending on your group, you're going to be jumping to it and just zip lining down and making a big dismount at the end. for your last point here. Just keep jumping up. Dismounting, we'll have it clearly marked off at what point you need to get past. And that is all 10 obstacles here. Again, 10 obstacles with 15 points total and a time limit of 5 minutes. Thanks everyone.